serving the heart and soul of Gloucester. This is GFM.
Danny, are you there?
DJ H, I'm here.
Ah, good to hear from you. So, you are joining us in GL1 on the 4th of Feb. It's a Saturday night, and you're going to be wrestling again.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm loving it. Yeah, Gloucester holds a special place for me, particularly because, I actually learned to wrestle in Gloucester, believe it or not.
Oh, what? This is where you started?
This is where it all started for me, back in Gloucester, yeah.
Because where are you from originally?
I'm from Bristol.
Yeah. So, how come, was Gloucester the training ground?
Yeah, it was really. I used to get a train at the tender age of 12, Tuesdays and Thursdays up to Gloucester to do my training. And it was just the most fantastic time of my career, you know, it was great.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So, how did you meet Matt?
It's quite a good story, actually. Matt, I believe, used to come along to the shows with his mum and watch me. You know, I guess I was a childhood hero of his.
Yeah.
And eventually, he obviously reached the age where he wanted to wrestle himself, and he got in contact with me and said, you know, would I consider wrestling on his shows? And of course, I was delighted to.
So by this time, so you were, because I remember you being big in the days of like Big Daddy, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Because I used to watch that on TV, ITV, wasn't it? It was always on ITV, and I can remember. Was it Saturday afternoons it used to be on?
No, the whole of the UK used to stop it Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Everybody used to sit down.
Yeah, I can remember. We've just had a couple of texts in. I've got you turned up as loud as I possibly can on our desk, but they're saying you're a little bit quiet.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
I can shout.
If you could shout a bit more, that would be brilliant. Yeah.
Cool, no worries.
So basically, you started way back. I'm just trying to think what era that was. Was that 70s when you were probably?
No, I'm not quite that old.
80s, was it?
I started in 83.
In 83, yeah.
Yeah, it was good old days, like you say, Giant Haystacks, you know, Big Daddy and all those sort of guys. Mick McManus was just finishing, and the Royal Brothers.
Yeah.
That was a good old era.
So how come then that we used to see wrestling on ITV on a Saturday afternoon and we don't anymore?
It was taken off in around 1990. It was taken off, believe it or not, for football, as if we don't have enough football on television. Yeah. There's a huge campaign at the moment to try and get wrestling back on television.
Is it one of those sports that's having a revival at the moment? Because I know in Gloucester, you know, the events do really, really well, and they seem to be popular. And a lot of the children, you know, children seem to be into, like, wrestling or the WWF and stuff like that. So do you think it's something that's going to get back up there with primetime TV?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it did take a nosedive when we came off the television.
Yeah.
But it's definitely getting back up there. The crowds are coming back, and they're just realising it's a great family entertainment, you know, and it's just a good show for the kids to come, have a good shout and scream, let their hair down, parents can relax for a couple of hours, and they just have a fantastic show. And particularly at Gloucester, you know, Matt puts a lot of effort in to make sure he gets the biggest superstars he can.
Yeah.
And it's just always a great atmosphere at GL1.
Now, I know some of the guys you've got down there. You've obviously got Matt, who, if anyone listens doesn't realise, Matt is the English Bulldog, and you can tell that by his costume, can't you?
You can, yeah.
So, what...
Thank me for saying this, but he's actually quite nervous about the 4th of February because it's his first time he's wrestling Skull Murphy, and he's absolutely terrified.
Are we meant to say that on air in case Skull's...
saying that, but he's in good hands. You know, as a tag team, we'll work well together.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's definitely going to be a good night and one to look forward to.
So how does the tag team, how does it work as being part of a tag team?
Okay, being part of a tag team, it's a 20-minute match, 20-minute duration. You have one of the guys in the ring at the time. And obviously the idea is to try and take a fall on your opponent.
Yeah.
If you are getting yourself in trouble, the idea is to tag out to your tag team partner and, you know, get them back in while they're fresh.
Ah, so you're tagging up, so it's you and Matt, the English Bulldog, tagging up together. Yeah. What are the other tags that we've got going on there? Have we got Robbie Brookside, is it?
Yeah, it's Robbie Brookside's actually in a single match. Robbie's obviously one of the ITV Saturday afternoon guys as well, one of the legends.
Yeah.
Blondie Barrett is also in the tag team with Matt and I. He's our opponent. We've got the indestructible Skull Murphy. A really formidable opponent. I mean, he's probably the hardest man I've ever faced in the ring, to be honest with you. I always like to say, when I'm on with Skull, I've had easier pub fights.
Really?
Yeah, he's a real
tough. So, how confident are you feeling on this one?
Oh, I'm confident. I mean, I've faced Skull Murphy many, many times, and quite a lot of times I've come out, beaten badly, and other times I've come out on top. It's always a good match when we're against each other.
Yeah.
And, it's something I'm really looking forward to, and I'm sure the people of Gloucester are too.
Now, why has he got the name Skull Murphy? Do we know?
He's shaven-headed.
Yeah.
Got a big head on him. In two ways. Huge body, great condition, really sporty, and not the nicest of people you want to come across, to be honest.
Also, the one that makes me laugh is Filthy Phil Powers. Now, why is he filthy?
I don't know. Why don't you come along on the night?
I am. I've got a ringside seat.
Have you?
Brilliant. Yes. Matt said he's sorting me out with a ringside seat as well. Now, you're now known as you're Danny Boy Collins, aren't you? But you've had some name changes over the years. Am I right in thinking that? Or have you always been?
Really, no, I've always been Danny Boy Collins. It's been questionable whether I dropped the boy bit. Now I'm getting a bit older.
Yeah.
I'm determined to keep it, and anybody has a problem, they're welcome to come along and wrestle me from the name.
I've probably asked this before to you as well, and we've interviewed you in the past. If you're girls and you want to do wrestling, can you do it?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I was actually at a training gym over in Norwich this last weekend, and I was doing some training with the guys there, and there were 6 young girls there coming up through the ranks. Great girls, great wrestlers, show plenty of potential.
So,
it's absolutely, male or female.
Because you said you started, did you say, was it about 9 when you first started doing some training?
Well, yeah, there's a nice story behind it, to be honest. I started amateur wrestling when I was 9. When I was 14, I came to the Fairground Wrestling booth in Gloucester.
Oh, yes, I know, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to, at the tender age of 14, I was probably 9 stone wet through, and I was stood up there on top taking on all comers.
Yeah.
And they used to say to the crowd, anybody can beat Danny Collins, you'll get £500.
So there's probably a lot of people that have seen you and don't actually realise they've seen you before, because I know, like, in Gloucester, the fair used to be huge. So it's probably loads of people who's actually seen you and not realised it.
Yeah, gosh, that's right. I mean, I'd urge people to come along. If you've never been to a wrestling event before, it's fantastic entertainment for all the family. Matt's put on a special family ticket price of £30 for 2 adults, 2 kids. I mean, to be honest, you couldn't go have a takeaway for that sort of money. Yeah,
that's fantastic. And also, if you compare that to the price of, say, watching football or rugby, it's far more expensive to take the family to own, and you'd probably be looking at that per person. Yeah. So, right, 4th of Feb is the event. Now, who do you reckon is going to win?
We are, of course.
That's what I wanted to hear.
We're going to win for Gloucester.
Yeah.
I can't honestly express how much Gloucester means to me and the people of Gloucester. I mean, I did my second TV match there, probably about '84. I was on with a guy called Cyanide Sid Cooper.
Yeah.
And it was literally standing room only. We must have had 1,500 people in there. And, it'd be a great privilege for me if the people of Gloucester had come along and support us.
Whereabouts in Gloucester was that? That stage?
That was GL1.
That was the original GL1 then, before it was...
It was literally standing room only.
Gosh.
And that's what we're aiming for again.
Yeah.
Matt just puts so much effort into these shows, he really does, from a financial point of view and from a hard work point of view. And I think the guy just really deserves the support from the people of Gloucester. And I'd love to see that place full again. It'd be a privilege for me to be there.
Yeah, well, I think it will be. Here on GFM, we're obviously keen to support it. If anyone out there is interested in tickets, just get down to GL1 Leisure Centre, Bruton Way in Gloucester, or get onto the website, the GL1 website. Information there on how you can get tickets, or also listen out on the GFM ads as well, because all that is on there too. So, yeah, thanks very much, Danny, for the interview. And if you want to catch Matt, he's got an interview this afternoon on GFM with Bantu on the Sports Cafe between 4 and 6 as well.
Hey, just before you cut me off, can I say a massive thank you to Derek Francis, the chairman of GFM?
Yes, of course you can.
On behalf of all the wrestlers and Matt and myself, it's been a big help to us over the years, and thanks to all of you and all your team.
That's brilliant, and I'd just like to say thank you as well for doing the interview. And we've done a few now, haven't we? Is this the second one or the third? Yeah. So.
Hopefully I don't land on your lap if you ring twice.
No, I can't wait. Anyway, thank you very much, and all the best. All right, cheers, Danny. Bye.
That's the word, you heard me?
GFM.